card for you, and you look at me, and you know how I feel about a lot of things immediately, don't you? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Guys, I am, I heard this gentleman over here say, he read my shirt and he said, Ohio against the world. Is Ohio really that mad? If you've ever spent any time in Ohio, sir, yes. We voted for George W. Bush twice, okay? No one lets us forget it, and nor should you, okay? You should not let us forget it at all. Guys, but I'm from Columbus, Ohio, and I moved to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania about 3 years ago because, like the old saying goes, right? Life is short, okay? So just move to Philadelphia and make it shorter, right? just do like Kesha says and die young. You know what I'm saying? Back home, I went to college, and I went to the Ohio State University, which means that I am a member of the 2014 National Defending NCAA Football Champions of the Nation. Yeah. Yeah, and I say I am a member of this group because I owe Ohio State $85,000, and they're never seeing any of it. They're not going to see it. I sent them a check in the mail last month for $20. They called me and said, Setoiyo, this doesn't even cover the interest. And I'm like, yeah, but you cashed it. Fuck with me, okay? Get out of my face. It's great. I'm 30 years old now, too, man. I'm 30. And the interesting thing about being 30 is I went home recently to hang out with my mama. So I was doing all the things that you would do with your mama, hugging, laughing, uncomfortably masturbating in the room that you grew up with as a 30-year-old man. I was doing all the styles, you know. But being back home, I got to hear a lot of the new music that the kids are listening to. It brought me to a startling realization that I'm now at an age where I can look at other people's music selection and be like, you know. It never fails. Multiple times a day when I was back home, I got to sit back and think, you know what the hell is wrong with these kids, you know? Back when I was growing up, man, we had good quality music. Like Chingy, right? And the Black Eyed Peas, you know? And let us not forget the undisputed prince of pop music, P.D. Pablo, right? Let's not forget about him. But yeah, you know, I've been living in Philly, and Philly's taught me a lot about myself that I didn't know before. Number one thing Philly taught me is I'm not a tough guy, right? I'm not tough. I've been described as jovial, I do Pilates, and tennis is one of my favorite sports. You know what I'm saying? Like, musically, I totally get where Drake is coming from. You know? Some of you call him emotional, I think he's a goddamn musical prophet, okay? It's the difference. Philly's tough though. Everyone's got something to say in Philly, so I just gotta put it out there, just to be clear. Next white person that calls me Carlton, I'm gonna stab you in the goddamn neck. I'm just gonna kill you. I shouldn't threaten people at my own show, but when I can't talk nice no more, you know. When I talk nice with you, you think I'm no. Just because look, my mom wanted me to go to school, and I obliged the woman. Okay, that's what happened. Okay, don't think just because you see me wearing a sweater vest doesn't mean that all of a sudden I'm Alfonso. I'm a great dancer, that is true. But that doesn't mean... Woo! I had a whole other list of things that I wanted to say, but we're gonna keep going this way, because this is natural, this is good. Oh man. I was taught to always stick up for myself and all that business, you know, and I got that from my mother. And my mom, she's a great gal, she's fantastic, she raised me as a single parent. She's been running her own successful healthcare business for the past 15 years. And 2 years ago, at the age of 58, this woman got her PhD. She is amazing, guys. She is a walking Tyler Perry film minus the black dude and dragging the shitty over it. Right? Yeah. My mom is cool, man. Mom's cool. I always thought my mom was just like the illest, and she was always going to lead me in the right direction, never steer me wrong, never break my heart. But a parent is a person too, and Mama did one day. She couldn't help it, you know, she was living, you know. I was 17 years old, guys. I was coming home from track practice. I just run a 10.9 in the 100-meter dash. I was an athlete. And I walked into my mother's house, and I heard my mother in her room having sex with her boyfriend. People ever heard your mama come? You ever heard your mama climax? Huh? In the name of capitalism? Have you ever done this? Huh? You cowards? Have you ever heard your mama bust a nut? And then when you're 24 years old, your friend tries to show you MILF-themed pornography, and he's like, you're gonna love it. And you're like, that is disgusting. That is a mother. That was one of the worst moments of my entire life, man. That's like finding out in one fell swoop there is no Santa, there might not be a God, and your mom likes to have sex with Eddie Murphy's My Girl Likes to Party all the time. play in the background. Okay, this brings a whole new meaning to the term coming to America. Do you understand me? Do I have you now? Oh my gosh, I am awash in a sea of emotions. That's just what happens. And I want to tell you guys a tale. I want to tell you guys a story about passion, betrayal, intrigue, and redemption. This is going to be amazing. I want to tell you guys about the first time I was ever exposed to racism. Okay? I'll tell you about the first time I was ever exposed to racism. I was exposed to racism when I was 7 years old. So that means that for 7 years, I had a really good run. Okay? A good run. 7 years, no racism. That's like 7 years of a Comcast bill with no hidden fees. It's nice. You know what you're getting into, right? And the guy who exposed me to racism was my best friend at the time, and his name was Ricky Williams. And Ricky was really cool. He had a crew cut, haircut, he had a G.I. Joe backpack. My man looked like Zach Morris before Zach Morris found out what blowjobs were. You understand? Like, really slick dude. And I was hanging out at my mother's apartment at the time, and I see Ricky Williams outside playing. I get really excited. I run outside, down the steps, cross the street, go up to Ricky Williams, and give him a great big old hug. Because as a young boy who's been raised by Nigerian parents, I have no concept of other people's personal fucking space, okay? Guys, in the culture I came from, everyone hugged, okay? The boys hugged, the girls hugged, the women hugged. Only the men who cheated on their wives didn't hug. Them niggas shook hands, okay? I step back and I say, hey, Ricky, man, so good to see you. What do you want to play today? We've got the jungle gym, we've got the sandbox, and we've got the swing set. I was thinking that we start over at the swing set because we're going to figure out how to fly, okay? And then we go over to the jungle gym, calisthenics, you know? And then we end at the sandbox because all good things end at the sandbox. I'm 7. And Ricky looks at me and he says, nah, man, I can't play with you today. In fact, I can't play with you anymore. We can't be friends. And in that moment, I get incredibly concerned, and I'm like, well, why, Ricky? And he's like, because you're black. And my parents told me that I can't play with black kids anymore. Yo, in that moment when he said that, I became immediately relieved. I was like, oh, Ricky, that's it? I was like, dude, don't worry about it. I'm brown. We can totally play. Ricky looks at me and he says, no, you're black and I can't play with you. He's a little forceful with this one. I was like, Ricky, I've looked into this, man. You know, I got the Crayola coloring set at the crib. I can show you. This ain't no big thing, you know. And he's like, no, you're black. I can't play with you. No more blackies. And he walks over into the sandbox, right? Like, just crushes my heart and walks over into the sandbox. So I do what any 7-year-old man would do. I cry and I go tell my mama. So I go... Because mom has to handle this. I don't know what to do. He's already rejected my friendship. So I go upstairs. I go see my mama. My mom has just gotten out of the shower and is wearing nothing but a white towel. And I proceed to tell her what happened because she sees me crying. And I'm just like, Ricky Williams, he doesn't want to play with me. He says I'm black, but I'm actually brown. And in that moment, I saw my mother become incensed. I saw this woman turn red in the face because she's brown like me, but we can do that shit sometimes, okay? Right? So in that moment, I know it's about to go down. Like, it's totally about to go down. I run over to my room. My mom runs after me, snatches me out of my room, walks out of her apartment door in her towel, walks down the steps in her towel, walks out the door in her towel, crosses the street in her towel, puts both feet directly into the sandbox in her towel, naked and wet. The most African thing I had seen in my life at this point. She just needed a spear, and it would have been, you know. She bends over and says, go get your parents now, Ricky. They can spread that filth to you, but they will not spread that to my son. And Ricky looks over at me, and he's very concerned and scared. And I look back at Ricky, you know, with tears, you know, streaming down my eyes. And I very slowly, very coolly, held up 2 Crayola crayons. One black, one brown. Do you see, Ricky Williams? Do you see? I am the brown one. How dare you not know your color wheel in this day and age? They come in 48 packs. What's your problem, man? Yo, and in that moment, both Ricky and my mom turned and looked at me and said, yo, what the hell is your problem?